Hi, welcome to the Mom of Many podcasts. I'm Tammy and I'm your host. So, in today's episode of Mom of Many, we're going to be talking about shyness. A lot of you had the same kind of questions. What do you do about shy children? And following that, we have a new funny segment called Creative Consequences 101. And see, these are just funny, creative things I've done with my kids when I've been kind of fed up from time to time. Again, hopefully you will not judge me, and hopefully you will laugh, and I hope you enjoy it. So we're going to watch two videos back to back. They're both kind of the same question, maybe spoken a little bit differently in a little bit different situation, but they both really apply to today's segment. So let's watch the videos.
Hey Tammy Ma, I have 4 kids, 7, 5, 3, and 1. And here's my question. How would you encourage a very shy child? I don't think that being shy or apprehensive is a bad thing, but sometimes when an adult or even a child is complimenting them, asking them questions, or even just helping them, they may not know what to say or they can't find the words that they know they're supposed to say. So how can I encourage my child to be themselves, but also find their confidence and find the right words whenever they're needed so that they don't come off as rude?
Hey, Tammy Ma. This question is also about my shy, quiet, reserved kids. How do you encourage your quiet children to let their voices be heard, to insert themselves in conversations, to have opinions? How do you encourage them to not get steamrolled constantly by, the louder, more dominant personalities in their environments? Thanks.
Thank you. Those are both great questions, and I appreciate both of them. So today's segment is about shyness, and so if I were going to title this in some way, I would say just 10 ways to help our children overcome shyness, and I hope it's helpful to you. In a family of outgoing people, I would say try not to label kids as shy. I mean, they may feel shy, but sometimes I've seen when parents will say, "Oh no, she's shy, he's shy," and they never really make the kid kind of step out from that, and the child kind of hides behind that label. Oh, I'm shy. I'm not expected to say anything, and so um, trying to compare them to other kids. It's so easy to attribute social shyness as a weakness, and it may not be a weakness. It may just be just the way that their personality is kind of wired. So, I guess the thing that I would be watch out for is, does their shyness handicap them? Is it debilitating in some way? Is it situational shyness, or is it an actual? Is it with certain people, or is it accompanied with high levels of anxiety? Are they shy with people when you're not around? That kind of tells what kind of shyness that they might have. So, for example, if your child is shy every time, everywhere, with everyone, even people they know well, that's a different issue. If your child has anxiety and panic attacks, kind of around social situations, that's a different kind of shyness we want to talk about. If your child is actually not so shy when they're at school with teachers, they just tend to be shy around mom. When she's out, doing social stuff with her friends, are they shy? That tells me something else. And maybe it's a shyness that they've kind of developed. It appears when mom's around. Maybe something about the way that mom's handling the situation that kind of causes that. So, assuming that they don't have anxiety or panic attacks or massive anxiety issues, I'm gonna kind of share with you 10 things that I would do to help my kids overcome shyness, and I hope it's helpful to you. The first thing I would do is try to, number one, accept their personalities. I love both these questions that these parents have asked, because I can tell that they have accepted that, and they're not really upset. They're not labeling their child. They're actually just seeing, okay, this is how my child is wired. I get it. Now, how do I help encourage them in this? And so that's kind of the great way to come at this problem, is to accept that this is how your child is, and try not to label it. Sometimes when you label somebody, it just becomes something that's reinforced, and so they do it again. So the first point is acceptance. The second point is let them know it's normal to be shy sometimes. Share some situations that you've experienced shyness and how you handle it. Model it for them. You can even, oh, when I was little, I'll never forget. I felt so shy when this happened, but then I did this and I overcame it this way. And even if you weren't really a shy kid, you can come up with a story or an illustration or a life experience that would hopefully be able to help them relate, to let them know, hey, this is normal. Feeling a little shy sometimes, feeling a little bit overwhelmed with people sometimes is totally normal. And I know that I'm guessing the kids that you're talking about are probably on the introverted side. I'm an introvert too, and so I get that. I get that. I don't want to mistake being an introvert for being shy. Um, so let them know, hey, it's normal to be shy sometimes. I'll never forget when I was this age and this happened, and this is how I overcame it. And just kind of sharing with them. So the second point is let them know it's normal. Hey, it's normal. Everybody feels shy sometimes. This is just part of life. And then the third point is model expected social behavior. Give them a real-time example. You really, really model it for them. So you might speak to them and say, watch how I interacted with this new person at the grocery store today. Did you notice how I made eye contact? We're about to go to the grocery store now. I want you to watch mom. Watch how she interacts with the guy at the bakery when she orders, bread. Watch how I do it. I look him in the eye. I don't know him. I might feel a little bit shy or nervous, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm going to tell him what I need. And I'm going to smile. I'm going to make eye contact. And I'm going to speak clearly. And, kind of just kind of like model the expected social behavior for them. Give them real-time examples. That's the third point. The fourth point is to coach them ahead of time. This is huge for social situations. They tend to be the most shy. Let them know your expectations clearly. So coach them for it. Say, hey guys, oh honey, I know we're about to go to church and you're going to see people you don't know. And they're going to probably say, how are you doing today, Pumpkin? And you're going to, you're going to be safe because mom's with you. I'm right with you holding your hand. And you're going to say, fine, thank you. Or you're going to answer their questions and you're safe. And you're going to be polite when grandma asks you this question, and you're going to be polite when uncle or aunt, whatever it might be, whoever it is, you're going to actually coach them before they go somewhere. Don't wait to correct them after it's already over. And don't wait suddenly for the moment of when they display their shyness and you get frustrated or embarrassed by them. No, like before you even go, anticipate what situation today in my child's life is likely to cause them to act out in shyness. What's going to make them feel nervous? Let me go ahead and know it's coming up. Let me give them a game plan. Let me coach them through it before it even happens. Like, I promise if you start doing that, you'll see success. You really will. Number 5, don't shield them from uncomfortable situations or interactions. The more they do it, the easier it'll be. And so sometimes as a parent, we want to protect our child from something that might seem uncomfortable for them. So we may not force them to do things because we just know, well, she's shy, he's shy. So we kind of just like don't make them do things that are hard because we want to protect them because they might feel shy. But no, like I'm saying, do the hard things. They need to do it anyway. Let them do it anyway. Let them do the hard things. Don't shield them from uncomfortable interactions. The more they do it, the easier it's going to be. Number 6, look for every win and celebrate and praise it. For example, wow, I could tell you were feeling shy, but you said, nice to meet you. And you looked at him right in the eye and you smiled. Man, I'm so proud of you. That was so cool. Like you handled that like a pro. You handled that like a boss. That was awesome. You celebrate their wins, celebrate and praise it whenever you can. You cannot overdo it in this area. Celebrate it, praise it, brag about them to somebody else, praise them. And so that they kind of build that confidence and they kind of understand what's expected of them. Number 7, try to build up their self-confidence and self-esteem. And that's the same kind of thing. Just like letting them know that they're awesome, letting them know they can do it, letting them know that they have what it takes, letting them know they can do hard things, letting them know that they're strong, building up their self-confidence and just being really aware that sometimes shy kids actually do develop low self-esteem because they see the one that's outgoing getting more attention and getting more praise and getting more notice. And so they actually do end up becoming a little bit more insecure. And so you want to combat that with lots of building up their self-esteem, building them up, building up their self-confidence. Number 8, I wrote, consider counseling if it's debilitating. And so there are some cases where there's debilitating social anxiety and shyness. And if your child is not, if you've tried all of these things and it's not working, you might need to consider some kind of counseling for that. And I'm not talking about a little social shyness or a little awkwardness or a little bit of quietness. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the kind that's debilitating, where the child is having panic attacks and they can't come over it. No matter what you do, you're not seeing growth. Otherwise, I do think these things will actually be really super helpful. But if you do come to that point where it is debilitating, you might consider counseling. Number 9, act out social situations, role play with family, and practice a lot. I have done this with my kids. Here's how you interact. We act it out. I'll be a stranger. This person will be a stranger. This kid will be a stranger, and we'll teach them how to shake hands and say, "Hi, it's nice to meet you." And can I do this? Can I have this? When going to the store and buying something, it's so much easier. When I've taken my kids out when they were younger, we might have taken them all out to a restaurant, and it's easy for me to go and order for them, but I make them go order. Like, if you want it, go order it. And so. I'm just trying to help build their confidence and once they do it, they feel better about themselves. And we praise them. Good job. And you ordered that all by yourself. That was awesome. And so just acting out social situations at home, role playing with family, I promise it will help you a lot. So if your child is struggling with shyness and interactions, role play, act it out, do whatever you can at home to get them ready for those moments. Make it a game, make it fun. It really, really works. And so they kind of know what's expected of them. And number 10, this kind of helps with a mom who with the second video. She said, how do you help them, kind of not get steamrolled by more dominant personalities? I would say all the above, plus asking their opinions and thoughts in social situations. And so if you're in a group, like, what game do you guys want to play? And you have 2 kids, you're like, we want to play Monopoly. And the other one's just kind of sitting there, okay. And I'll be, what about you? What would you like to play? Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, that's an awesome idea. And praising their responses in social situations. Praise them in front of people. Have others praise them. Show them that their thoughts matter and that they're important and they're valuable and that their input is needed. And so you might have to work extra hard for that child. I would not scold them, which is maybe would be a tendency. Like, okay, you need to say what you think too. I mean, come on. Everybody's giving their opinion. What do you think? Tell us. It's not it's not going to help. Instead, it's like, what do you think? Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. And so they're beginning to help them understand that their ideas matter, their ideas are great, and that their opinions are valuable to society, to their family, and to others. It starts at home, obviously. So I hope this makes sense. It was a little short podcast today, but I promise you that if you do these things, you will see growth in your little ones. And I hope it really helps. And let me know if it does. You can always write to me at asktammyma@gmail.com. And I'm ready to help you any way I can. So stay tuned for a new segment called Creative Consequences 101. Welcome to the new segment, Creative Consequences 101. So I have a little saying that I tell people, and I stand by it. When it comes to punishment, again, this is obviously probably for younger kids, but no, actually, maybe it's for every kid. Okay, I take it back. This punishment is for all. So it's creative consequences. Basically, I have this thought process that punishment should be swift, it should sting a little bit, it should match the crime, and most of all, and this is the most important thing, so if you're taking notes right now, write this down. Punishment should be swift, should sting a little bit, should match the crime, and most of all, it should be entertaining to the parents. So if it's not entertaining to the parents, then you have not done a good job. So it needs to be entertaining for the parents. And so this is one of those stories. So I hope that you won't judge me too harshly. So this is, again, in the Indian context. Early on in our home, probably close into the end of the first year, I had some boys around the age of 4 and 5 years old, and 6, 4, 5, and 6. And they would go in the bathroom at night, and they would fill up a bucket of water, and they would take the water and they would paint the walls. And the walls were kind of a flat paint, so that when they put water on it, it became a dark pink. It was like a really horribly ugly pink room, and I apologize for that to my kids, but it was they would go in and paint on the wall with water, and then of course it would dry in a few hours, and it would be just like it was. But they would again and again, they would paint on the walls with water, and it was like a mess. And so we would go and tell them, stop it, don't do this. This is not allowed. You guys need to stop. I mean, and I just was, I was at a loss of what to do. Like nothing we did or said mattered. Every night, around 10 or 11 at night, there would be one of the little boys or another waking up the other ones and deciding that it would be a great time to paint the walls with water. And so they would get I mean, they had to work together because it was a big old bucket, and they were like 4 and 5 and 6 years old. And they would fill up the bucket of water, and they would drag it out from the bathroom into the room, and they would just begin painting pictures on the wall. And so I was so fed up after like, I don't know how much, I mean, they probably did this 3 or 4 times a week, easily for several weeks. And finally I walked in one night, and there they are, just giggling and laughing, having the best time painting on the walls. And I was so frustrated. And I was like, I don't know, I think it was a God-given like moment to me, but I basically thought, I'm going to try reverse psychology. And so I said to the boys, I said, and they just looked at me, they froze. Of course, they were scared they were going to get in trouble. And I said, no. I want you to have fun. I have been so mean to you. I have not allowed you to have fun. I keep stopping you from painting on the walls, keep stopping you from playing with the water. And you just, there's water everywhere. It's all over the floor, everywhere, every night. And I said, and I love you, and I'm so sorry I've kept you from having fun. And so I insist that you have fun right now. Let's play in the water. And so they all kind of go to the bucket and start splashing in the water. 4 little boys, and they're just splashing. They're kind of bending over because the bucket's probably about, I don't know, 2 feet high, 3 feet high. And then they're probably 2 or 3 feet high. And they're all little 4 and 5 and 6-year-olds. And so they're bending over, splashing in the water, giggling and laughing and having a good time. And after like, I don't know, 2 minutes of splashing around the water, I'm just standing there going, do it. It's so much fun. I want you to have fun. And they kind of splash in it for 2 minutes, and they're kind of like done after that. And they're starting to like, straighten back up because they were bent over. And I said, no. I insist that you play in the water. So they just kept splashing in the water, and then they kept playing, and they were kind of laughing, but then they kind of started switching over to nervous laughter. And then after another 4 or 5 minutes, they wanted to stop. And I was like, no, baby, I'm so sorry. I will not let you stop. I want you to have fun. I love you. I insist that you have fun. I have been so strict with you, never letting you play in the water when you wanted to. And I want you to play all night long. I don't want you to stop playing because I love you and I want you to have a good time. And they were like, can we stop now? And their hands are all wrinkly and wet. This has gone on for a good, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes of them just kind of splashing in the water in a bucket. And there's not much water left because it's all everywhere by that time. And I was like, no, I insist. I want you to have fun. And I want to hear you laughing and just having a great time. And but one by one, those little 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old boys all started crying. And then I knew that I had done a great job. And I was entertained. The punishment was swift. Okay. Could catch them in the act. It was swift. It was immediate. It stung a little bit. I mean, it was uncomfortable. I mean, they weren't like dying or anything, but they were all sore. Their backs were sore. Their hands were sore, and they were fed up with bending over and splashing in the water. It definitely matched the crime. Am I right? Yeah. And most of all, what? You remember what I said? Yes. It was entertaining to the parent. So that's it. Hope you enjoy this new segment. Y'all have a great day, and I'll see you next week.